sad moment for African football, but I'm sorry, a very beautiful moment for African football. And I watched Nigeria DRC game no who say, in fact, say here 2 reps be a do more come more qualified than one. Both countries, should have been there for a third successive time. Nigeria and Kubio. Now, Adena is so sad, Kakra.
For a second,
could be last time. No, stop more common and so I stop you more. We are looking at quality at Nigeria. Ikra, I'm a place in a Katia across every length of the world. Top leagues are here, England, Spain, everywhere. Ubenya or more a player. But me was one angle of the qualifiers here. Ghana, Nigeria, Brazil, Uruguay, countries that are pressure almost. So Drew qualifies a year Bob call Lesotho, Nigeria and Lesotho Kai score line. And only games among fortune say if you had that strength on the ball, DRC, ball Gabondia, why not in the qualifiers? If you be D Stanley Wabali at them and they are not going to the World Cup. May Yapa for Osimhen's sake. For Osimhen's sake. I'm going to line up and I may highlight one thing. But before that, we must start with DRC for the side. Shall I recommend DRC for line up? We are talking about a continent that lose most of the jewels to other countries like France and Belgium. But then DRC squad no, your boys no, a bimu yese come up baby for frabo and then they came back down here.
So DRC lineup no goalkeeper Lionel Mpasi Nzao one of that post anymore. Right back Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Centre backs Chancellor Mbemba and Axel Twanzebe. Left back Arthur Masuaku. Middle Sunderland boy no Noah Sadiki. Afei Wenso Ngal Ayel Macau. Or also ball middle. And a boy fan Samuel Mutusami. On also ball middle. Attack Meshak Elia. Cedric Bakambu. And afei Nathaniel Mbuku. I'm going to start my DRC.
4-1-4-1. Typical attacking side. With Samuel Mutusamo as the lone anchor operator back four. Now, watch closely. When you say back four, we say, it makes me a feature for every country on the African continent. Atama Swaku is an experienced guy.
Yeah.
Now, Twanzebe and the Chancellor Mbamba partnership. Chancellor Mbamba last time AFCON, only performance and output. The only central defender now, Bruno, so William Tristekon. Chancellor Mbamba, he has grown into the African game. Aggression, physique. He has the technical capacity to match up every center forward in the game. So me that match up against Victor Osimhen, no means throw. No more say you free first half for no crowd. Not just a real common. No, I come house of Kotoko game. Be a muyi Kotoko. You changes Chastela no. I'm say oh yeah, coach Nedru. And then granny how Chastela didn't win a film. Time have been a film. All of that. How on earth would you change Victor Osimhen?
Or injury.
I don't know. At the time, so the questions were adding we will see in the film.
That was the question.
So 4-1-4-1, it was a very big day for DRC. And I'm on my day, I'm not stopping Eric Shelley right now. I'm on for saying you know, I'm on for so called check. I say, nah, okay, general, I can't be so if I unity and walk far Benin and remember cross Nigeria for. All in all, congrats to DRC. So I'm qualified at this stage. Imagine, say, 74 are forefathers of the continent. Over Cameroon did 8 times. Zaire in 74 no can. At the time I watch AFCON, I'm a bomb. So this country, and as a circle, I can't say, what about Kwaba Homo Dibia, about fear or Mokobomba. So, but AFCON, what you know, walk up and quay. A very porous output and a biome president to the buffet. But this time, and now merry making and we saw qualify Moko at the expense of one of the greatest football nations on the continent in Nigeria. Kudos to these guys. Away from that, my catcher said, the blaster I've seen, no, there's some level of spirit to be echo. I think that couple now, a D no, because blaster ball bia no me who say you an element of bite oh your game no say ball no you who so say that from back you see some energy oh your game no but friendly game where there coach kasa what transi agina home crowd want to me because every time I saw one no go so awokasa Mickey made a point say oh ebiana senior players bia maintina you lose leadership kakrom o hwe Senegal Brazil game no me catch you said Senegal for the Brazil no put the score line away. Because the only African country Brazil and da was Senegal. one African country so ombu foreign coaches bebre sa Senegal. Now Oshe Papi Tiao, the selection, everything he did, Ashada should let us go through the line up now. Very flamboyant side. Bobi, not devoid of nervousness. Na ya ne African teams in York balls are you so bebre. No, Senegal was different. At some point in the game, Vinicius Kasembi, watch closely this lineup I'll share our screen. A 4-2-3-1 with a makeshift role for Papi Matassa. Papi Matassa was a central midfielder for Tottenham Hotspur. But Ismail Sarr, any formation in Tino, we a 4-4-1-1. 1-1 no Ismail Sarr body agina Sadio Mane achi. No you two sharp wingers. A horn na asem no one because Ubenya Iliman Ndiaye. Very, very good trickery about 1-on-1, about the speed, all of that in the ball control on the wave of Jumani. But on the other side, no, not Papi Matassa to me because on your winger. It's a no inverted but inside said with your central load and the anchor with me in the Papi Gay and it is a gay. Anchor Banessa 2-0 anyway. But the game not itself, no. How did we enjoy this game? Me, there's no African team who make us winning ball. But I dare you upon the chair, any class echo, and the hunger to fight. Vinicius Kasembi, all canon, minim Casa Crocaye. But career and a Koulibaly Chadani, it means what Yasamino. How fierce the eyeballs no 10 years no Vinicius no, and you military can be CBC. And I'm saying, no, I love this from Senegal. So, yo. Ahead of AFCON World Cup, no Senegal grow. You can't so much AFCON back up a bit surprising because Omo BBB World Cup and I know you call South Africa 2010. Yeah, you could do. Nobody could do that milestone. But unfortunately, one AFCON Penomaji led by Aliou Cisse and another mother Papitia also ability. Vest is a very brilliant squad. A mat 2-0 numbu. But the output in overall against Brazil, no, it happens to be one of the best. Gattuso, name some no kind, I mean treaty seminal. Me father say your opinion. But Gattuso, I did be now 2 Italy national team no, and then only be coachy. I mean, we are talking about coaches. Italy as a country. We are talking about Italy. For God's sake. No. We are talking about coaches who understands the game, can decode whatever is going on the field. In the perspective of tradition, Italy for no World Cup and can we Brazil free on most successful side. They have memories. And then they no way for the Ayomo. Now, my show team mudi omuni world class striker bia with team.
Sanonema Halan Kokana last week say sa Pio Esposito no krenya me onim no. But when so can say no be boy na ye bia boy no say basa na bufu aba omuni ade but no kre no can but so Obama national team of Italy then again some Boma Inter Milan I means oyade and you asema Halan kan last week and indeed Esposito pronounce na share first go my Italy so now Italy for now say na unim no dia afedo won the background ye bisa about no and Halan so responded with 2 goals
simple. Mami highlighting come be about the whole qualification. Oh say, to be yaw. Oh say a bon and 30 to bon. Na makope aduane no de abeshim. Omokope aduane no de abeshim no bobo no. But to be no ko fa de no de ba na utua e bon ne ba ko a. Aduane no gya aduane mu nto owura onya ba bi e kwa foforo da. No ba be fa sa na to telephone no. Sa qualify sankasa no manya ko ewura ho. They say no they so hold up their hopes set Omeko and almost a conwine by before. He say Sweden anymore. North Macedonia anymore. It will be so it also be a very tough moment for Italy. But the reality in Italy one national team now no one tell we are man for because we are man for France there we are man for no ma filter no ma South Africa no ma bo ma yen e be here to say the eka wan bisaka modi nyina they filter the quality of the quality Belgium so yes but Italy yes Omeyasa, call Latin America for no Brazil. No it's a bloodline be. No matter but Africa for Africa dear. And 10 sibebrisa. Now say na benya Christian Doggy name Balotelli mo black for black a bottom team to be. So now yako say mo be use mo dia. It has to be the best of the best.
Italy the quality baby.
quality ni ho me mata kesere Ricardo Orsolini ho Matteo Politano Giacomo Raspadori Matteo Retegui Pio Esposito na obonidi no Gianluca Scamacca who is world class here.
And how many goals are these strikers our boy like individually obia betimi amount to say 20 goals in a season?
And who is even an established striker here? Cause established that and the job on the bar you may forget to and I am forget to. None of them. None of them.
Run to me.
So baby on my video on my break. Now the MFN is a catch France 98 at the Norway baby drew a stage and if I introduce no a tall Andrew Flow in a typical 4-1-4-1 the height of 1.9 frame no every bobby systematically suited in the style of playing in the strength. But this time almost have 1.95 for 4-2 in Alex Solo and Haaland obia height 1.95 and supported by Oscar Bob and Antonio Nusa from RB Leipzig. These two players, even without Martin Odegaard, Patrick Bergy and Asanda Bergy, two typical sexes. I'm going to demand no way for. But problem kakra say omo team is war. You know, the PS in the final third, but a bit very weak in at the base of the team. I don't me fear. But teams no man who they boss what is Belgium, Italy, Poland, Sankrof no. A 50-50 game. A 50-50. So near Brazil, na Brazil team will cry no dia.
It's all about European football.
Start that game now. No way for the ball.
Imagine Brazil crash when America.
Oh yeah.
It's all about us to some European style of play.
Na me ko. I heard am the be we no way ni Italy dia na me sorry so. Brazil asem ya wo kan ni ntino. Shadrack me we dia man mo ncha wo ho because me time no encha bebam. Shadrack me Brazil lineup for the first time in years. Ma who an element of magic our lineup. Japan Korea 2002. Okay, yan can lineup on here. We lineup with formation when your friend said the magic box, 4-4-2 magic box. Now magic box in here. Oh, Casemiro ne Bruno Guimaraes. Or me no. O de Estevao ne Rodrigo Besoso a one box. Okay, Pepe no. O first Estevao na fa Rodrigo, na fa Cunha, na fa Vinicius. And also my one box. Into a friend of magic box because at every sequence of the game there's one box that will be home. A best start from the other one to the other one. In between situations. But how come Brazil here? Now formation last coach I mean who's Bobby Asare Boadu. Or Bobby Ditia Dr. Prosper Ogum our Kotokone house game be.
Okay.
Or you saw Nuruddin Aziz. House of Folk Nuruddin Aziz, you know. Or you saw another Suleiman Tari. Or you saw Kwadwo being junior and Barney free or top. And on there there's another player and account 4-2-2-2-2-2 magic box. We team only creativity be brain no ono yusu. The team is high so direct. The attack is in America for 1-2-3 in the final third. I'm on chair in the transitions be brain no omuni. Now where are the skills? The flamboyancy. The samba football akwahefa. Now we no mesama Shadrack age no we are lineup we are mesama the age no. It will surprise you to know say Brazil players will be not in their prime 30 something Casemiro Mone Marquinhos mo they are getting close to the end of their time, especially in the colors of the Seleção. Now Brazil called directed at bay omo number 10 for no way yaw. Look at their ages. Marquinhos 31, Casemiro 33, Alessandro 34, Ederson 32. This is the Brazilian national team. And the age in support to the style of play no more. Style of play with a full energy. One Vinicius, one Estevao, one Cunha, one Rodrigo. Omunya ball now, more Rafranic so a formation not taboo 2-2-2-2 and very direct. Okay. They don't keep more time on the ball. They don't sustain the pressure in their half. On the ball. It's every time, you know, and one day and I had a team. But how did they come by this? And then why in the Brazil number 10? Yo, but this will be can name as someone Nipano de Menebe Pano. If somebody still hold some hope in Neymar, the mini part by any out.
Are they want to be mobile?
No way, they should move away from Neymar quickly. Neymar, ultimate man 90 minutes me no walk up. No. Football generally has moved from skills to physique. So prep ball on the count where the home account. Neymar want to mean completing 90 minutes me no walk up.
Whoa, Mate, say, Meza. My memory on me we are not film about
I'll be very quick. Cancel work management. Me akra person me cancel crash.
Check 2 months. Sports 1 yeah, camera.
Some sports and the Mraneka. And Yambranco be bet be the 11 players, but be the 20 players. But sports and sports law. And you're a GF me, Jumabo,
I know we can't cry a day.
Yeah, I'll be very quick on the Italian issue. I think, sir, first of all, there has been a tactical stagnation over the Italian national team with the way City set it up. And an over-reliance on a certain style and no money free tete, which is a defense na and a bit me. So I can quite remember, say we were literally young, but in '94 USA, France '98, it was all about Roberto Baggio. Any omu defense, inti defender ani abuatum. Na Baggio akoye skill set 1-2 no akobo biatum ene man 94 final no kojina penalty at your boy panya na ball na brem na ekone baby. But fast forward before the 2006 World Cup and san omo beje sa World Cup no Trapattoni di omo call 2004 Euros die yi Cristiano Ronaldo pima ya Greece koje no omo kono mo Christian Vieri mekano mo Totti no mo Andri Pelou, top class players, Fabio Cannavaro. But at the Euros, no, they became too defensive minded. To a certain extent, say, on board draw, no more draw. Group stage no move free, Denmark in the year move free. And at 2006, as some number corner Moses coach in the Kofa Rigo Sachi in the air day. Bye. Now this is the difference. Trapattoni relied on Tetenio Mana near the Italian national team see defense heading. Ye who den ye defend the Pampe ye counter attack be any about their call. But Arrigo Sacchi brought in a different thing because or explore different options due to different nationalities on your moye adwuma with AC Milan. And also be defining a certain era in the history of Italian football, especially from the club side. Where how far AC Milan the root gullet money boys in na ye adwuma de omoje the Champions League. It will be my team near more attacking sided. It was Italy 2006 be totally different from whatever they did in 2004. That means there was a change. After Italy 2010, or my starting I say, or my over reliant on old players no 2006 na Tete line and I'm Prandelli the Naba Prandelli defender where you see just a Brankwa. They failed to even change with time. But Italy has never won a major tournament with their striker being the goal king in a major tournament. Omo ko major tournament bia 2006 omoje World Cup na nye Luka Toni na top scorer World Cup. You go back to almost successful years ni omoje. Yan go back to Euro 2020. Omoje na striker. Energy goal king at the end of the day. Euro 2020 e ko boy omo share England on penalty shooter at J. Italy eba strikers omo jo omo di so omo no omo obi di e but omo nye nkofo e de omo ko tournament e de ko je dabi. Omo de na backline midfield and wingers omo ye good platoon. So for example Euro 2020 Federico Chiesa football no de na montete no boko Antonio Conte call Euros back wing backs nkwa or the Graziano Pele mu na ko ball 9 10 de omo ko e ko duru animu kakra nsa na yom. So they don't usually care about that. But ade baako asa how omo pan yes and now enkoda omo tete omo free small clubs. Once the first na Parma and the production line of most of the clubs for Italy. So Cannavaro, all of these guys will come through Parma. But Emirates sign yes, most of these guys in the growing near the Omoba Juventus and AC Milan. Now AC Milan appear in Champions League season after season. Juventus plays in the Champions League season after season. So Omo Grumi sa boys winning na. Na fi Omo de Omo be remo national team nim. But then akoda ni nyimi kakra bia scanni AC Milan ho. Scanni Juventus ho. Inter Milan no kra wo scan kra no pepe. Oya no akofa loan. Omo ya no maton. No ko. Omo ya no maton. No ko. It dey be make sure say the NTT AC Milan asesa. The NTT Juventus na asesa. The NTT Inter Milan asesa. Inter Milan international. Yes, see am frafo am free abonte ba Italy no mo na bobo Inter Milan. AC Milan ye kuroma dia. But then adane look at the number of Italian players playing for Inter Milan. Then look at the number of foreign players playing for AC Milan. Then there is Juventus. Sandro Tonelli Siso, Wabo Brescia. Yes, so a combination of a central campester and a deep line playmaker. Andri Pelomone, Marquisio Mane, Diomaba. Afi Ekoyenima, Obo AC Milan 1-2 seasons per derby. Yaton Sandro Tonelli. Me na make a trade it now. Sandro Tonelli will still be playing for AC Milan.
Sana I Nicolo Barella at the end.
Barella at the end because Inter Milan is performing. It was Ifako. It's an Inter various Italian players, Di Marco, Bastoni. Most of these guys, Esposito Munina, most of these guys in now. But for AC Milan, I want about Christian Pulisic. Foreigners and Santiago Jimenez, UC Fofana, Luka Modric, or Moanebo. Fikayo Tomori manage natural debo. Then there's Locatelli no only see Euro 2020 no. Honestly, injuries the neko, the number injuries the neko. So the production line is having a problem. Their top clubs who is supposed to nurture them is having a problem. And I think they've also failed to change with time in terms of how our football see. The athleticism in football now, the pressing stature in football now, a lot of things Italy are failing to adjust to it. And Kofa coach Gennaro Gattuso.
I don't know some
Oh, there be one yard
Gattuso.
I know what had you split your pamono. Italy team no bet my. Young kind of crunch down for me and say down for. Also, Mesha say from 94 coaches some bomb with the BC Arrigo Saki so. Then Prandelli Mube, then fast forward Antonio Conte baby. Now look at the standard. Antonio Conte Mukrani saw one yard you. Omukrano Mubaya, Omo de Grazano Pele Mubaya, just saw one yard ye. Then Ababa Bessi wine so. Gennaro Gattuso. Or say your be an European qualifiers in say an Africa de we say an Oko South America date no say teams qualify
2006 coach na Italy in about World Cup na Marcello Lippi.
Marcello Lippi. It is share the line of coaches are or Masuso Suma dia baba ababisi Sammy then now about Gennaro Gattuso. E wo fem. Share on said the curiosity tieno. Oda na jo awon sana wo de no ka no rere ho anu ohu. Wo rere ho anu ohu. Na trimai o de English media na sa na ekoso. See Jude Bellingham na be the topic of discussion. Obebo, obestate, omo, or World Cup. Omo na go omo national team in 2006. Abra no mo World Cup. Manchester for sorry abuyi. Liverpool for sorry abuyi. Steven Gerrard. Chelsea for story the coconut pie Frank Lampard. We ya de che we. Posco si ya de che we. We ya omo ko World Cup ni na to kwa dem gidi. Ye hu ni eka. Asama Thomas Tuchel eka no. If you dig it deep, or cut the right things to help the national team. But the media is trying to twist it to create a certain rivalry within the national team. Because Okase, Jude Bellingham compete with Morgan Rogers or compete with Kopama. Fancy no Ukrainian yami any kwasa national team will be 3 million a day. And the reason why England were suffering under Gary Southgate, they said there was too many favoritism. It is a player and the exact position and what's that Southgate creative BB. Not the player and a question ordinary day. So there was so many misprofiling when it comes to all certain players and they are presented teams or Munkobo. But with Tuchel, only prioritize balance over names, which is going to be best for the English national team. Because individual quality, we will be power. Oh, Kopama, oh, Jude Bellingham, oh, Morgan Rogers, oh, Harry Kane. Look at the kind of quality they have. Bukayo Saka. Marcus Rashford, Munina, and Amachila, Mukramoya backbenchers are fin or Mobemu. There's Magay. So they have enough quality. So it's about creating the right balance. And Nina due to the E-Triple-P project, and the E-Triple-P provide the players, I might be clear, Nigeria, Dimola Lukman. Column was not a Pegana, but Omunina a product of that. Jaro Kwansa Munina Yambe Drew Topo, I think I feel for the Maba Rizaba, and the Gomez in Yabi Moe. Obe Bunka Crano Conche, Boka Crano Conche, when we now. But when you are casting media, and I see Jude Bellingham on Yadi, and I see this Jude Bellingham new web pre opposite opposition for us. So sorry.
Yeah, what born on that or a substitution? Free filled no sooner by bencher. New cancer will chase say. Both because a basana all disrespect Uniana also free bench.
I shall say free time on the buy. I may make a story. They say one friend in the national team now or Casafino free India, but Munya train.
True.
And no Sabe Casa Morgan Rogers, Nico Palma Munani place a warm opening number 10 position. And I wish Wababetum. It is almost set a trap now to a certain extent. Say, after media and Bakwa could decide, say, Muju Bellingham. But Kosovo be the another side say, now play a better change with Bellingham. Then they will start using it to disrespect players at Bellingham near more pre-competition. After Ombeko national team company, they just them. Say kura ye hu ni ekeka. Just say omo mpenioma ayeye. God save the king.
Well, whether balanced or not, under no circumstance should Rogers be picked ahead of Jude. We Philip Mensah Anderson.
England national team na Real Madrid.
Wow. Philip Mensah Anderson message, you know. Council, I remember where Mike about, but council so
quality, my memory na
England, they are not Maccabi.
Oh, okay.
England, you be English boy.
Oh, God save the